8647 has become a mainstream way to show disgust with President Trump.
Either James Comey is on a rampage, or the aliens really don't like Donald Trump. Nothing makes me happier than the idea of Dumpy Don shaking in his swollen boots over this, especially since there's not much he can do about this or Comey. You can almost hear the fear in this MAGA host's voice as they whine about 8647 on Fox.
The vantage point, we can see down the National Mall, the numbers 8647 appeared in the green grass not far from the World War II memorial. We don't know how extensive this damage is and whether this is easily repairable, but it's not just the vandalism that's notable, it's the message. 8647 has become a mainstream way to show disgust with President Trump. 86 usually means to axe or kill something, usually used in the restaurant industry, and 47 traditionally references President Trump, as he's both the 45th and 47th president. We got a statement from the Department of Interior which says the deranged vandalism on our National Mall will not be tolerated. Any threat against the president is taken very seriously by the department, and our U.S. Park Police will investigate this incident and hold those responsible accountable.
Whoever did this is hilarious because they know that the worst that they're going to get is a vandalism charge. It looks like they sprayed vinegar or like mowed it in little circles or something, which is why it's so uneven. And maybe they got caught midway because the 4 doesn't even appear to be there at all. But the message was received, and it's amazing how serious they take this because of Trump's whining. The park's police said that the cause of the discoloration had not yet been determined, but grass samples had been collected for testing. Yeah, let's take this back to the lab and file it under who gives a fuck. I, for one, think this whole 8647 thing is so lame anyway. It's not even a good line. But it's incredible how it sends MAGA into a meltdown. This is actually the latest in a string of scary vandalism in the Capitol that some dark knight is out there doing. Listen to the way that these conservatives describe what 86 means here. They're trying so hard to make it sound scary.
The U.S. Park Police is investigating the area around the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool where 8647 graffiti was found. The number 86 refers to killing or assassinating someone. In this case, 47 suggests President Donald Trump is the one being targeted. The police force for the National Park Service said the vandalism was, quote, unacceptable and will not be tolerated on federal lands.
And they're being dead ass right now, too. They are really clutching their pearls about something that we all know is no big deal. They think that if they cry hard enough, we'll just redefine what 86 means to make them stop whining. Wild strategy, Cotton. Let's see what libs of TikTok is crying about today. Mallory Dittmer, the Democratic nominee for South Carolina's 5th District, had 8647 behind her in the video. Oh no, God, not 8647. That's the most violent thing that someone can say about the fat turd who's one bad burger from taking himself out. The maggots are crawling all over themselves to prove to their mad king that they can pretend to be offended the hardest. He's got the literal Attorney General of the United States on national TV humiliating himself over this.
8647, is that real or is that a placeholder or what exactly is the charge? Because he's saying this has no merit.
Well, I mean, he's entitled to say whatever he wants. What the facts show is that a grand jury, this isn't a D.C. grand jury. This isn't Todd Blanche, former President Trump, personal attorney bringing charges. These are line prosecutors, career prosecutors in North Carolina who investigated what happened, investigated this case for nearly a year, and a grand jury returned an indictment. There is nothing more serious in this country, as we've seen repeatedly over the past several years, than threatening President Trump. He has been, on multiple occasions, 3 occasions at least, someone has tried to kill him, okay? So we have to take these threats seriously.
I can't tell if this is like mass hysteria and they've all just deluded themselves, or if they seriously think the public is going to buy this as a legal argument. Because the only morons dense enough to buy this are already on Poop Social. Mr. Producer here says, whoa, leftists etched 8647 into national mall grass. The American people reject this evil. This is what the left has created. He's on camera, you're going to jail. And while I say those are the only morons, there's actually always the mainstream media. Which is why you should subscribe, by the way, because they're always pretending that the Republicans are making any sense at all. Like, look at the language they choose to use here when describing the Comey case. This is from the LA Times. James Comey's case will play out in a murky area of the law? What murky area? It's the First Amendment. It's not murky at all. There's such little defense of this argument here that the LA Times got flooded with us normal folks who have just had enough of this BS. The comments are hilarious. You can feel the snark dripping off the words. In letters to the editor, people were saying things like, sometimes it's clearly black and white, not legal gray. There's a big old forest out there called the currently misnamed Justice Department bullying innocents. To the editor, in the 40 years I had working in the bars and restaurants, I've never heard 86 mean anything other than reject a too rowdy customer. And while the Comey case isn't going to hit the court till November, there's already been precedent set on this exact phrase. It turns out judges aren't as stupid as MAGA, which is incredible because I was just about to lose all hope. As you can see in this case, in which anti-Trump protesters flew an 8647 sign, they stopped just short of calling Trump's cronies out of their names. The judge wrote, "The court does not doubt that political violence is on the rise, but the enormity of that problem does not change the meaning of the plaintiff's speech, which by any reasonable measure merely advocated for the president's impeachment and removal from office, that is, to throw him out." The judge appended a Merriam-Webster definition of the term 86, which defines it as a 1930s soda counter slang, meaning to throw out or to get rid of. I genuinely don't know what the Trump administration is thinking here. Not with tracking down the vandal on the national lawn or with the James Comey case. It is going to be a total and complete shit show in that courtroom, and they're going to look like weak, insufferable man babies.
Very clearly stated that he had no violent intentions here. So how are prosecutors going to prove otherwise?
I think you've gone straight to the heart of the problem with the government's case here, which is that they will have to convince not just one person, not just a grand jury that hears only one side of the story, but a unanimous jury in a trial courtroom with a judge presiding that Jim Comey intended to kill or physically harm the president when he posted on Instagram. That feels like an insurmountable hurdle to me.
This is going to sound so lib-coded, but 8647 might be something that we have to keep in our arsenal to pepper Trump with every now and then. You gotta admit, it's pretty hilarious to watch MAGA waste their time with this, which means they aren't spending their time preparing for the midterms. Subscribe to Making Progress. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll catch you next time.